Most people think wealth arrives through luck, dates, or secret rituals. That belief already puts them behind. In Shaolin teachings, nothing meaningful comes from chance. Everything comes from intentional action. Today, I will share why a simple act performed on January 2nd is misunderstood, and why its real power has nothing to do with magic, water, or superstition. Many speak about beginnings. Very few understand continuation. January 1st excites the mind. January 2nd exposes the truth. This is the day discipline either appears or disappears. In the Shaolin path, rituals exist to train awareness, not to escape effort. They sharpen focus. They anchor the mind. They remind the body that direction matters more than desire. In this video, you will learn the deeper reason monks value symbolic actions, why water represents more than cleansing, and how mindful movement rewires decision-making. You will see how wealth follows structure, not wishes. You will understand why careless habits silently block opportunity, and how calm repetition builds trust with life itself. These principles are rarely explained because they demand responsibility, not fantasy. Stay until the end, because the final insight connects discipline, money, and inner order in a way most teachings avoid. Miss it, and the ritual remains empty. Understand it, and every action gains weight. I speak not as a motivator, but as a practitioner. The Shaolin way removes illusion and replaces it with clarity. What follows intention determines outcome. Small actions, when guided by presence, shape destiny quietly. Stillness can hold power, but rigidity creates decay. In the Shaolin path, water is not admired for its softness alone, but for its intelligence. It yields without surrendering. It moves without losing direction. This is why Eastern philosophy returns to water again and again. It teaches adaptability without weakness and clarity without force. Water never argues with the landscape, it studies it. When it meets a stone, it does not attack. It adjusts. Over time, the stone changes, not the water. Money follows the same principle. It moves toward systems that allow flow, toward minds that remain open, disciplined, and responsive. When thoughts harden into fear or impatience, movement slows. Decisions become heavy. Energy stops circulating. In training, I have seen strong bodies fail because the mind refused to bend. The same happens in life. A rigid mind resists learning. It clings to past effort and demands reward. This tension repels opportunity. Like blocked channels, nothing new can pass through. Wealth does not avoid effort. It avoids resistance. Flow does not mean chaos. Water follows structure. Rivers have banks. Discipline gives direction to adaptability. Without banks, water becomes destruction. Without discipline, flexibility becomes distraction. When the mind is trained to remain calm while adjusting to change, clarity appears. Choices become simple, actions become precise. Opportunities rarely announce themselves loudly. They appear as small openings, subtle shifts, quiet invitations. A flowing mind recognizes them. It does not rush. It does not freeze. It moves when movement is required and waits when waiting is wiser. This rhythm cannot be forced. It is cultivated. In Shaolin wisdom, clarity is movement without friction. When intention is clean and habits are steady, life responds. Money moves toward those who can hold it without tension. Like water, it settles where balance exists and leaves where force is applied. Every path reveals itself through action. In ancient teachings, the hands are not only tools of labor, but mirrors of the mind. They carry intention into the world. They grasp, build, protect, and sometimes cling. When the hands are restless, the mind is unsettled. When the hands are disciplined, the mind follows. Washing the hands has always meant more than cleaning the skin. It is a quiet declaration of release. Yesterday's habits, once useful, can become invisible chains. Repetition without awareness hardens behavior. Fear hides in routine. Greed disguises itself as urgency. Hesitation lingers as doubt. These patterns accumulate silently, shaping decisions long before we notice their influence. In Shaolin practice, progress begins not by adding strength, but by removing resistance. A clenched fist cannot receive. A tense body cannot flow. Before any form is mastered, the practitioner is taught to empty unnecessary effort. This is not weakness, it is precision. Letting go creates space, and space allows energy to move. Abundance does not arrive where the hands are already full. It comes where there is readiness. When action is guided by clarity instead of anxiety, effort becomes efficient. Each movement carries purpose. Each choice reflects calm confidence rather than reaction. Discipline refines action until it becomes quiet and exact. Ancient practitioners understood that internal conflict drains more energy than external struggle. A divided mind hesitates, a clear mind commits. When fear loosens its grip and greed loses its urgency, actions become steady. There is no rush, only direction, no force, only consistency. This is why cleansing rituals endure across generations. They remind the practitioner that mastery begins inside. By releasing what no longer serves, the hands become free again. Free to act, free to build, free to align effort with intention, without resistance pulling from within. Desire arrives easily. It announces itself with noise and enthusiasm. January 1st is filled with promises, declarations, and hopeful visions. The mind feels light. Motivation feels endless. But desire alone has never built anything that lasts. It is only the spark, not the flame, that stays. January the 2nd is quieter. The excitement fades. The body feels the same as yesterday. The world offers no applause. This is where most paths end. When the emotion disappears, many interpret it as failure. In truth, this is the first real test. Discipline does not need excitement. It operates in silence. In ancient training halls, mastery was never measured by how strongly one began, but by how steadily one continued. The Shaolin path respects endurance more than intensity. Repetition, performed without drama, shapes the body and sharpens the mind. Each ordinary day becomes a stone laid in an invisible foundation. Quitting rarely feels like quitting. It feels like postponing, like waiting for the feeling to return. But discipline does not wait for feelings. It acts despite them. This is the difference between wishing for change and becoming the kind of person change stays with. Wealth follows the same law. It is not created by moments of inspiration, but by systems sustained over time. Commitment builds trust, with oneself first, then with the world. When actions are consistent, opportunities grow comfortable nearby. They recognize reliability. Ancient perspectives understood this well. Seasons do not rush. Trees do not argue with time. They show up daily to grow. January 2nd carries this same lesson. When excitement ends, truth begins. Those who remain, who continue without applause, slowly separate themselves from the crowd. Commitment reshapes identity. It turns effort into habit and habit into character. And character, more than luck or timing, determines what one is able to hold. Small actions reveal the true state of the mind. In ancient practice, awareness was never reserved for meditation halls alone. It was trained in ordinary moments where attention is often weakest. Hand washing, when done mindfully, becomes a mirror. Each movement is observed. Each sensation is felt. The mind is invited to remain present instead of wandering ahead. As the hands move slowly, the breath responds. It lengthens without command. The body relaxes without instruction. This is the intelligence of awareness. When attention settles into the present moment, unnecessary tension releases on its own. Thoughts lose their urgency. They pass without pulling the mind with them. Rushed movement creates rushed thinking. When actions are hurried, decisions follow the same pattern. In this state, judgment narrows. Impulse replaces clarity. Ancient teachings recognized this danger. They trained calmness before complexity, control before speed. A steady hand reflects a steady mind. Mindful hand washing is not about the hands. It is about interrupting unconscious patterns. It reminds the practitioner that choice exists in every moment. Even the simplest task can be done with care. When this awareness is practiced daily, it carries into larger decisions. Speech becomes measured, reactions soften, listening deepens. Financial decisions are no different. Money is affected by timing, patience, and restraint. A calm mind evaluates without fear. It does not chase losses or grasp at promises. It waits when waiting is wise and acts when action is clear. This composure is cultivated, not inherited. Ancient disciplines understood that mastery is built from the inside outward. Before controlling circumstances, one learns to regulate attention. The mind that can slow down while washing hands can slow down before signing, spending, or committing. This pause creates space, and within that space, better choices naturally arise. Objects carry no power on their own. Without awareness, they remain ordinary. Water cleans the body, but presence cleans the mind. Ancient teachings never placed faith in materials. They placed faith in attention. Consciousness is what transforms movement into practice and routine into refinement. When attention is scattered, even the most sacred ritual becomes empty. Hands move, but the mind is elsewhere. Time passes, but nothing changes. This is why presence is considered the true discipline. To be fully here requires effort. The mind resists stillness. It seeks distraction. Training begins by noticing this resistance without fighting it. When attention becomes complete, the simplest actions gain weight. Walking becomes grounding. Breathing becomes instruction. Washing hands becomes alignment. Each movement leaves an imprint. Over time, the mind learns to stay instead of escape. This staying is what reshapes perception. Monks do not separate life from training. There is no transition between practice and daily activity. Carrying water, cleaning floors, eating meals, each task sharpens awareness. This approach dissolves the need for special conditions. Progress happens everywhere, not only in silence or solitude. Presence also reveals inefficiency. When the mind is fully engaged, wasted effort becomes visible. Movements soften, thoughts simplify, energy is conserved. This clarity extends beyond physical action into decision-making. One begins to notice when choices are driven by habit rather than intention. Ancient perspectives understood that mastery is not about control, but about intimacy with each moment. To be present is to meet reality without resistance. In this state, the mind becomes teachable. Ordinary life becomes the teacher. Nothing needs to be added. Nothing needs to be removed. Only attention must remain. This is the quiet power behind all disciplines, not the object used, but the awareness brought to it. With presence, every moment becomes training. True discipline is not force, it is alignment. Ancient training recognized that strength without harmony collapses under pressure. The Shaolin path refines three forces together, never in isolation. When the body moves with control, effort becomes efficient. There is no excess tension, no wasted motion. Each action has purpose. Breath is the bridge. When movement is correct, the breath flows without command. It does not rush to keep up or struggle to recover. Natural breathing signals balance. In ancient practice, breath was observed more than instructed. It revealed whether the practitioner was forcing or allowing. Calm breath reflects honest effort. The mind follows both. When body and breath align, thoughts settle. Clarity replaces noise. Decisions become straightforward. Not because choices disappear, but because distraction does. A clear mind does not second-guess unnecessarily. It sees what is needed and acts. This alignment creates quiet confidence. Not arrogance, not urgency. Confidence rooted in self-trust. The practitioner knows their capacity because it has been tested repeatedly. This certainty is felt by others. People respond to it instinctively. Opportunities gravitate toward reliability. Money, like trust, follows confidence. It settles near those who handle responsibility with steadiness, those whose emotions do not swing wildly with success or loss. When body, breath, and mind work together, actions become consistent. Consistency builds credibility. Ancient perspectives understood this long before modern systems existed. Merchants, warriors, and monks trained their inner state because they knew external outcomes reflected internal order. Chaos repels stability. Alignment attracts it. When the body is tense, the breath shallow, and the mind scattered, effort multiplies but results shrink. When alignment is restored, effort decreases while effectiveness grows. This is why discipline is practiced daily, not for display, but for coherence. From coherence comes confidence. From confidence comes trust. And where trust lives, resources tend to remain. This practice is not about magic, timing, or secret power. Washing your hands with water on January 2nd is a reminder to return to what matters. Release what no longer serves you. Let go of yesterday's habits, fears, and hesitation. Commit to discipline when excitement fades. Move with awareness in small actions because small actions shape the mind. Flow like water. Adapt without losing direction. Stay calm without becoming passive. When the mind is clean, choices become simple. When choices are simple, actions become precise. And when actions are precise, life begins to respond with balance. Money, like many things, aligns naturally where clarity, responsibility, and consistency exist. Take this lesson beyond today. Carry it into how you work, how you decide, how you respond under pressure. Let ordinary moments become training. Let discipline replace wishing. Over time, this quiet practice reshapes character, and character shapes outcome. If this reflection resonated with you, take a moment to like this video. Subscribe to Heng Yi Chronicles to continue exploring ancient wisdom, inner mastery, and a calmer way of living. Walk your path steadily, remain present, and allow alignment to unfold.